to commemorate his outstanding boxing.
And killed each other.
8 wins, 9 losses.
2 defeat record. 40 victories include 2 corners, wearing white, official weight.
Boxing, we're told that more than 14,000 tickets were sold. The place looks close to full as Glen Johnson attacks Roy Jones and tries to get him to remember what it was like to be rocked and knocked out by Antonio Tarver. And Jones smiling, but basically just trying to roll away from the punishment as Johnson attacks and attacks.
I think this is very amateurish and immature for Johnson to fight like this in the beginning with all the experience he's had. He's not landing anything effectively. Even the punches that looks like he's landing, Roy's leaning and using the ropes to take the strength out of the punches.
And it's clear that Jones expected it. But on the other hand, Jones is not responding yet by picking Johnson off with counter shots, although now he begins to as he rocks off the ropes with lefts and rights.
Yeah, and Johnson is not a big devastating puncher anyway.
But he did land a right hand flush on Jones's chin, and now he lands another right hand on the top of the head.
And burning up a lot of energy ineffectively.
And landing a left hook and demonstrating that he's not a devastating puncher, as Jones so far hasn't responded as if to show damage to any of these big power punches.
It may be amateurish, but it sure is effective so far. Remember that in their first fight, Tarver had Jones on the ropes most of the night.
Yeah, but the way that Johnson is going, he's going at an unbelievable pace.
Right.
So
but he's also landing some body punches.
He may not be expecting to fight 12 rounds either.
But body punches, when a guy's pulling his body back in the upright position, you don't really hurt him that much when he's leaning back.
Jones has landed some carefully selected counter shots, and now he backs Johnson up with one of them, and Glen comes right back and tries to hammer Jones with another right hand over the top. Roy rolling forward to get away from those arcing overhand punches, and now pounds Johnson with a big left hand in the stomach.
In the long term, that's not going to do Johnson any good either.
No, he may lose the round, but I think the round is going to his advantage going down the stretch because of the extremely big amount of that right now, and the good style and rhythm.
Other than allowing Jones to use his hand speed.
Too many punches when Roy was
The Tarver.
Absolutely.
Is that Johnson, although he has the time to win decisively
Against Johnson's early assault and close to his chin. Well, Johnson gives you something, it's the body.
That's a very good clean right hand lead. Now Roy's starting to get his rhythm.
Make the impression he wanted to make and now needs to go back into his envelope.
Quay has to become more aggressive to try to take the fights and not hope to get them.
Now Jones is choosing to counter virtually every Johnson shot.
Jones appears to be doing more damage on the inside.
Yeah, much more short, effective, well-placed punches.
And it becomes clear that at least until Glen Johnson runs out of gas, this is the fight we're going to see.
Yes, and it's not really a comfortable fight for Roy, even though it looks good for Roy maybe going down the stretch. But from this point on, from what I can see, Johnson is giving Roy a much rougher fight than he expected.
I want to take him to the ropes, and I want to... Jones beginning to do significant damage with counter shots, particularly to the body. And now the crowd begins to warm to the task as Roy Jones puts together punches in combination.
And Johnson is coming right back at him, which I'm quite sure Roy's a little surprised.
Maybe what Johnson wanted to do, might want to come in here and do something spectacular. Quick left hook for Jones, landed as he backed up.
Called a check left hook where he pulls back and throws a hook as the opponent's coming in. But in this case here, it wasn't that. A short overhand right just at the same time that Roy was shooting. But I agree, if he can keep this power
Very close. It could help him get...
You might find it impossible to believe that for instance, he lost 4 fights in a row.
Jones may be hurt.
In
It was a
99.
big right hand.
He was hurt by the right hand.
And a left hook, and Jones shakes his shot by Johnson. Misses a big right hand up there. Now Jones comes back with a right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Right hand lands for... Crowd is chanting, Roy, Roy, Roy. And he's coming back at Glen Johnson with serious firepower now. Johnson may be hurt.
Nope, Johnson is not.
Well, it's already 5 of the most exciting rounds Roy Jones has ever...
Johnson landing the right hand that Roy just didn't see. Just a case. This is this type of a fight that Roy liked.
The kind of willpower, the kind of concentration, the kind of devotion that it's going to take for Jones to beat.
Because they were looking for...
There was a fellow named Tyson who got buried by Lennox Lewis here, June 8, 2002. He had a big rep. Crowd was here to see him too. Johnson with a good 1-2 against the ropes. 5 rounds to 1, 59. That would have Jones in the lead, at least off what we've seen. The face of Glen Johnson probably feels as though he's built a lead on the scorecards and waiting to see what Jones is going to try to do about it.
To sustain a good combination attack.
Didn't jab.
But what is happening, Johnson is getting closer to the distance that he shoots his jab, and Roy don't have time to time it.
And you wonder.
He's not used to guys fighting this close.
Something we've never seen him in this kind of fight.
And I think also the fights with Tarver has given all of his opponents much more confidence now.
Well, he turned it up against
He takes a right hand and a left hand, and he's on the canvas again for the second time in 2 fights. And for the second time in 2 fights, he's not going to get up, and he's been knocked out again. We saw the guy who got knocked out
and hurt badly.
It's the 6th round. Glen Johnson's a guy who's lost 9.
Of a job, especially considering the whole crowd, the atmosphere, everything here was so pro Roy Jones Jr.
Eddie knocked him cold.
And his head hit the canvas very hard.
That's right. And the head back.
Threw a jab, and I didn't see him respond, so I said, ready right on that. And there it was. I looked for him for the left hook, and I barely tapped him there, and I wanted to come with another punch, but he wasn't there. So I just stepped